Ladies and gentlemen, you know who's back on air today. My name is Stephen Dossou, all the way from Togo, Togo. You know how we do it. It is my joy, excitement, and passion. That's what I live for every single day, to bring you the very best kick of inspiration. Inspiration, is defined as a mental stimulus that will enable you to think better than you did yesterday, to think like an awesome creative being. And that is my purpose. That is what I do. In everything I say, everybody I mingle with, everybody I bring on this show is to push you out of that little box in which you are comfortable in, so that tomorrow you can accomplish awesome, great things. And that's what the Igtt TV, Ignited Transformation TV, is about. It's about inspiring you, taking you to a new zone, a transformation zone, and that is gonna be for you today. But look, today I am hanging out with somebody again epic, all right? All the way from Canada, on the very other side of the world. You know how I do it. Now, this person is a proud mother. Okay, and she has done all kind of things in her life. You're gonna see her very soon. She looks in her early 20s, but she just revealed to me that she's in her 40s. Can you believe it? And what she does basically is help people fire their bosses and become their own bosses, right? So she's currently a business coach. She coaches others how to become successful and powerful coaches. And the truth is, she hasn't just gotten there yesterday. It was an entire journey. This person was a champion athlete. This person had her own TV show. This person, she achieved so much. But here's the thing, right? I don't want to take anything away from her. I want to make it a point that she herself dropped the bombs on you because she's full of it. She's that kind of person that has done, seen, been there, done that, that's that. So, if you are game, all right, allow me to welcome the one and only, all the way from Canada, Fabienne Raphaël. Hi there, Fabienne. How's it going?
What an introduction. I felt like you were like preaching something like very important and stuff, and you were all talking about me.
Yeah, that's you right there. That's you right there. Look, Fabienne, the truth is, when I looked at your body, I was like, wow. You are the definition of somebody that is living, right? Not surviving. You're definitely not surviving. You are making things happen. So Fabienne, tell us, please. I'm sure people are dying to know, who are you? Where you come from? What has been your journey? It's been up and down, many kind of competencies, and the things that you did, you left a mark everywhere you went. You were featured on NBC, Fox, ABC News. Look, not everybody does it. Tell us, what is your story?
Well, I was an ordinary person. That's what I thought for a long time. And today, when I think about it, it's actually this year that I realized, with my coach and my peers from the mastermind group I invest in, that I was never average. I was never average. So I don't know what it is to fit into like a group necessarily. Like, I don't know what it is to actually just get, the normal type of result.
Yeah.
I always go big into what I want to accomplish. So it's either it really works or it just doesn't work. And I learned from it. So I grew up as, normal kid, going to private schools because my parents really cared about us having great education.
Yeah.
And I never thought I would be an entrepreneur, even though I guess it was inside of me somewhere because I eventually became one. But I never thought I would be. I thought I would have the same job forever and then retire and just live like a normal, boring life, right? But that's not what happened. Along the way, let's say I met the right people, starting with my life and business partner. He was already investing into himself, like personal development, conferences, learning more and stuff. And then one day, like, he just told me, what about like if you just resign as an employee and sign and ask to be a consultant instead? And that's how my journey working for myself started, as a consultant in physical therapy. And then since then, I mean, I created my healthcare agency. I had a home staging business. I had a TV show. I was an elite athlete, and I lived in Denmark for 2 years. I mean, I made a ton of stuff that made me really develop a lot of skills, especially the ones like, building and nurturing relationships, but also like adapting to any new situation. So with the journey that I just described, I hate routine. I hate it. Like if I have like 3 days that look exactly the same, I'm bored. So so that's why this life as an online business coach, helping others like living their best life and living their purpose and expressing their life mission and getting paid for it, it's extremely fulfilling for me because everyone is unique and the journey for everyone is not the same. So my days are never the same, and that's what I love about them. So yes, my journey was no straight line. And if you would have asked me that question when I was a teenager, I never would have thought that I would be there today.
Oh man, that is quite something you are saying right there, Fabienne. What I've noticed in many situations is that you have people that actually go to school and study something particular, but then later in life they discover that, but hang on, what I actually studied is nothing at all to what I actually want to do, what I believe my gift or my calling is. So it is really, really interesting how those, paradigm shift in our lives all the time. I read somewhere that what you are doing today, that you are most likely not to do the same thing 10 years from now. Do you believe in that?
Yeah, I do believe in that. I didn't at a time. I thought that, your road was traced to like what you really wanted to do, and then you would be there for like 20, 30 years when I was still like with the employee mentality. But I realized that with time, if you give yourself permission or you're open to it, of course you change and you evolve. So you can't expect like that person today be the same as the one that was there 10 years ago. So
Yes.
you don't have the same like vision. You don't have the same, maybe your values change, maybe what's important to you change along the way. And don't get me wrong here, like I don't regret any of the things I've done in the past. I mean, my career as a physical therapist is part of shaping like the person I became today. And I could definitely use skills that I've learned as a physical therapist with my coaching journey, right? Because there's a whole process. For example, when you evaluate someone coming to your clinic, like talking to them, trying to evaluate like what clinical impression you have from what they have as an injury and stuff like that. So it's the same thing. Like when people talk to me, I have this capacity to reflect on, okay, here are the data, like here's a problem and here's what we need to do in order to solve it. So like all these things, every aspect of my life that I touch, they serve me something for what I'm doing today. And I guess it helped me become this person with that bubbly personality.
That's awesome. So awesome. You are double awesome, Fabienne. Fabienne, I mean, something you said just now, okay, it's you spoke about relationships, that something happened in your relationship and that took you to the next level. Okay. So what would you say about relationships? If you take your life, for instance, yeah, you said, but can you give us some practical example as to how you were able to actually build the relationships and how those relationships enabled you to move on?
Yes. Okay. So let's say like if I talk like my whole life, I always treasured relationships, but like a small circle of people with deep relationships. Like my friends, they were like my world and all that stuff. So I was always someone who's been dedicated into her relationships. The first time that I really had to do something to, stand out was when I left. When I left and for Denmark, because I had an opportunity to play team handball there for 2 years. And when I arrived, I didn't know anyone. I didn't speak the language. So the first few practices, like everything was in Danish. So I was learning like the keywords so I could understand what was going on in training and on the court. And then also like the whole system, the city, how it functions. Like I didn't know a lot about that. And I remember thinking in my head, it's either I stay like that, very shy in a corner and just like feel miserable and not connect with people, or I just speak up and say, well, I need help with this. Who's willing to, show me around and all that stuff. So at the end of, I think it was like the second week of practice or something. At the end of practice, I stood up and I said, well, you know what? Like I need someone to show me around. Like I need to know how your city functions, what are the best way to go there, where I should find this and what that stuff. And then two people are like, yeah, we can help you. And that's how it got started. And then I was like, well, okay, so to actually be able to create relationships, sometimes you need to make that first step because not everyone will be able to do that for you. And it might prevent yourself to live like an experiment a lot. Because I strongly believe that each person that crosses your path, it's for a reason, because they have something to make you learn. So therefore, like that was one of the, first times that I was like, it's important to do so. And then the second time was when I started my podcast online. It was in 2014. I was extremely shy still, but I wanted to have like this huge podcast interviewing a ton of influencers. So I had to connect with influencers and still being a no name online. So I had to dare to ask for, the interview and connections and all that stuff. And that's what led me actually to be featured on Forbes like the year after I started my podcast, still being kind of like a no name on the internet whatsoever. But because I had created a relationship with this lady who was a writer at Forbes at the time. And then once we were having the discussion, because the relationship was nurtured, and I was like, what if, we co-write an article together about this topic? And she was like, yeah, why not? Right. Yeah. But this person, she was presented, introduced to me by someone else I had on my show, this lady, Suzanne Rowan, and she wrote the book, How to Work a Room, bestseller, international bestseller. I think she was on episode 3. Can you imagine? Suzanne came to Montreal, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, and we met at a coffee shop. We still have that relationship, and once in a while we connect and we talk about Grey's Anatomy because we're both fans of that show. But like, it's just to tell you that, like sometimes you don't know where this might lead, but you have to give it a chance. So the reason why I'm on your show today is because we connected online and we're like, oh, there's something about our energy that's so common. I mean, you're extremely energetic and dynamic, and there was something there. Yeah. And we said to each other, what about we hop on a Zoom call and see, what we could do? And look at us now. I mean, that's what daring to connect and to, discuss with people, open the conversation. You never know where this could lead.
Yeah, massive. I love that. I mean, look at us now. We on Hollywood now.
So funny.
All right. Okay, I mean, I'm just gonna throw some joke there, Fabienne, look.
Yes.
You said something just now, all right? And that it's something that people struggle to do. But unfortunately, not being able to take that step, it's what's gonna forever keep us behind. And that thing I'm talking about is change, is evolving. All right. And if we look at you, from working as a therapist, from becoming a consultant, from being a champion athlete, right? From having your own TV show, from connecting with all these people, the one thing that you were able to do, going to Denmark, making new friends, is change, is embracing change, wanting to evolve at every single time. But the truth is, not everybody can do that.
So true.
Change is uncomfortable, sometimes it's painful. And look, here's the thing. Let me be a human being here, because it's not every change that's going to bring you success. But change is necessary for you to find the success. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So being a coach and coaching others as well to become great coaches which I believe you have, you have had a lot of great results. How do you then advise people, or should I say, how do you, transfer that wisdom into people's spirit to embrace change so that they can evolve?
Yeah, ooh, that's a great question. Well, first of all, I mean, when we have our first conversation, so where I'm on sales calls with potential clients, I make sure that I really understand like where they're coming from and why they want to do what they want to do. And I express it that, they have to be open to change, and they have to be open that I will make them step into discomfort, but that's for their own growth, and that's for them to be able to like to evolve and to become a better version of themselves, and to be able to accomplish more year after year. So I'll give you a clear example of one of my clients now, Rassi. I mean, she's pre-launching her book now, so she's sharing her story in leadership. She's a leadership coach with the world, right? But I remember the first time we spoke about marketing, and about, sharing content on social media, and about sharing bits of her story. The first time she did that, she told me, I was stressed, I was sweating, I didn't feel well, I couldn't eat, I had a tight in my stomach. I just posted, and I just didn't look at it for a while, because that was how uncomfortable it made her feel to go out there and, like share her story and all that stuff. And guess what? Like now, not even a year later, she's publishing her book.
Wow.
Which is going to have like an international reach, right? So basically, like, it's just to show you that I I cheat a little bit. I identify the people that really are embracing that, because if they're not, I mean, they're just not a great fit to work with me, because I know it's not going to get any results.
Yeah.
Like if you're not coachable, or if you're not open to change, then I'm not the one who's going to save you. It has to come from you.
Indeed.
Right?
Indeed.
So I ask a lot of questions on, what their journey has been, and what challenges they've been through, and how they overcame them. And like all the people I work with, they've been through something in life, and they've shown me that they have the capacity and the strength to move forward despite the challenges, and they never gave up. And to me, that's the most important thing. I don't think that you can access change if you're not open to step into that discomfort once in a while. And that discomfort is always going to be there. Last week, I had an interview with my friend, Bissy McGregor. But actually, I should introduce you to Bissy. And she's like the fearless specialist. Like she's the fearless coach, working on mindset with her clients. And then we were talking about fear. And she said that, fear is always there to babysit you into your comfort zone. And if you don't get used to, seeing it, or, witnessing it, but acting anyways to access that, that higher part of yourself, then you'll just sit in your comfort zone all your life. And it's going to be very boring.
Yeah.
So we both live like a very exciting life, never the same each and every single day, meeting new people, influencing the world with our work. And it's because we decided that we wanted to embrace that change. And every week, every month, I mean, I still face challenges, and I still have that voice sometimes like, are you sure you want to do this? But I mean, my vision is so much bigger that it allows me to act anyways and get there, and, and then think, oh, it's not as bad as I thought it would be, right? So
yeah, you definitely. Yeah. I mean, when you talk about the voices in your head, I actually talk about that in my book, Be Transformed, the 10-week journey to your true self. I talk about the 3 toughest demons of mankind: fear, self-doubt, and low self-esteem. The African proverb says that the enemies outside can do us no harm if there are no enemies within, right? And the enemies within, Fabienne, are nothing more but our own fears, self-doubt, and low self-esteem. So
all 3, by the way, I was crushed by all 3. Like when I became an entrepreneur, so 12 years ago, whatever, starting, I would say like the first few years there, the 3, 4, maybe 5 first years, it was crushing me, these 3 things, all of them, until like I got the right help. I mean, again, self-awareness. that's the first step to change. Also, we didn't talk about that, but and then being surrounded by the right people, because it was a very serious conversation with my life partner. He came up with it and he was like, I think there's something more in there that you have to work on, and I can't help you.
Yeah.
And that's what, pushed me to get that help and just access to another, aspect of myself and my potential that I didn't know that I had, because my self-esteem was so low.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes you just have to, to admit, to accept, and then, seek out for the solution.
Yeah. Fabienne, let me throw this in quickly, right?
Throw it.
Let me throw this in, right? So, I mean, I like the fact that you mentioned that you do precise that, your partner came to you, because you see, I had one of these interviews once, and when I put it out there, somebody wrote to me asking for the number of the interviewee. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this woman is taken, all right?
What?
Don't do it. Okay, don't write to me asking for her numbers, because you're not getting it. She's taken, all right? Okay. All right.
That's so funny. Oh my God. People reaching out to have their phone numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
So you should start a dating agency or something.
That's a great idea. But yeah, you mentioned something, right? It's really, really important. It's called asking for help.
Oh God. Yeah.
I mean, first of all, my thing is that there are so many people out there, in fact, if not almost everybody, that actually needs help, but continuously falls into a denial that they don't need help. So my whole thing is that asking for help is not admitting that you are weak, but it's actually wanting to upgrade yourself with better resources so that you can get ahead much quicker. I mean, I'll give an example quickly, right? So let's imagine some, like, two students, okay? One continuously studying on his own, and then the other, what he does study on his own, the very, very same hours, but whenever he has free time, he goes on to the person that is above his level and asks for more information, right? Guess who is most likely to be ahead of the other? Is the person that's asking for assistance. So asking for help is basically saying that, look, give me more resources to what I already have.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you may have, but it's just not enough for you to knock that Goliath down. You know what I'm saying? So I want to ask you, Fabienne, as a coach, and I'm pretty sure that the people that you coach as well, you come across that level where they are reticent to actually get the hand, or ask for the hand to pull them up. How do you deal with them? What is the message that you tell them, or what can you tell all the people out there that are battling today? They are fighting themselves in the mirror that, no, I can do this, but they are still at the same place like a turtle. What would you say?
Yeah, I would tell them that it's completely normal to feel invincible. When you are an entrepreneur and you have this mission and you're getting started, you're so excited. You want to do everything. And you're like, I can do this. I can learn this. I can do this. And I can do this, right? But then you spread yourself too thin and you hit a wall and you're like, oh, this thing's not working. But the thing is, like, realistically, like, if you think about everyone who is successful at something have had like some help along the way. Like, you can't get anywhere if you don't admit that you need to surround yourself with people who do things better than you, or someone that you aspire to become, or someone who really inspires you with their work or with their accomplishments, and you're like, oh, that person could definitely mentor me or coach me or whatsoever. So I come from, the sports background. I've always had coaches, and I was lucky enough that when I was training for the Olympics, I got this injury that kept me out of the game for like six months. And we had the sports psychologist, and she helped me tremendously with my mindset while I was not training, giving me the tools to be able to overcome that injury and then feel 100% ready when I stepped on the court again 6 months later. But like, I've always recognized that the help of others is important. And in business though, like at a certain point, I thought that I had to learn everything until one coach told me you need to focus on your strengths.
Yep.
Double down on what you're great at, delegate the rest, and this is what will make you like successful like quicker, instead of trying to figure out, you know, how you can do this when it's not your cup of tea. And when we started in business, my business partner and I, this is what we were doing. Like I was trying to gain the skills that he was great at, and same for him. So we're like, well, in case, you know, you can't do this, then I could still patch and do it for you. But it didn't work out. Like until we acknowledged that his strength is this and my strengths are this, then it was great. But again, I think it has to do with, you know, the euphoria. I don't know if that a word, euphoria I have in French, but like of getting started as an entrepreneur, and you're like, I'm going to change the world and I can do that all by myself. But seriously, like no one has ever done that. So I mean, you know, just get help. That's
totally. Totally. You know, I can agree with you more, Fabienne. You know, I speak to I'm gonna sound, you know, quite evil right now, but it's just the truth that when I speak to, you know, all the new entrepreneurs, like especially the new coaches, the first thing they tell you is, you know, I'm gonna change the world. All right, okay, cool, I got that. So a friend of mine says that, look, it's good to believe that you can be the person that lights up all others' candles. But before you go and light up the candles, you need to have a flame. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, and sometimes you have to go to somebody to give you the flame. You get what I'm saying? And not everybody gets to understand that. I wrote a small book, you know, that I'm giving away to all these new coaches. Start to do these before you become a coach. The 7 mistakes to avoid in order for you to be successful as a coach. I talk about the who, not the how. All right, so focus on the who, not the how. Do not be there and wanting to learn everything, and then you are still thinking that you want to change the world. By the time you finish learning everything, you don't have a life anymore. You get what I'm saying? To find the people that are good at something that needs to get done, and just focus on what you are great at. That's how you get ahead quicker.
Yeah, I so agree with you. But then I feel that it's okay to want to change the world. So I just want to specify that, because whenever like I speak to my clients or I speak on stages, whatever, I say that, you know, coaching is like the business of changing lives. And it's also changing the world, because each of these lives that you're changing, I mean, they also change lives, and these lives are also changed, you know, like, so it has a ripple effect. There's nothing wrong with wanting to change the world. But it's just like the self-awareness to recognize that you can't do this all on your own. That's the most important thing. And the quickest that you get that, like, I remember the first time I got a coach, I was like, oh my God, like, why did I lose so much time trying to do it all on my own when I, you know, had the resources to hire someone and help me out with a few things, right? So some people are just, I don't know, maybe stubborn, or they think that they're different. But seriously, like, how many, I mean, I don't know if you know anyone who's succeeded without asking any help to anyone. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know one either, right? I don't know one either. As a matter of fact, the more help you have, the more likely you are to succeed.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yes. Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we're hanging out with Fabienne Raphaël, all the way from Canada, the powerful mother. All right, this woman has accomplished so much and is still accomplishing a lot more. She's conquering literally mountains, from being a champion athlete to owning her own TV show to being featured on NBC, Fox, and what was that? ABC News. There you go, and accomplishing a lot more. So she's been on this journey for 12 years now as an entrepreneur, and I can tell you that she's going strong at it. And like I said before, don't call me for a number. She's married. Yeah, I got you there. All right, Fabienne. So Fabienne, we getting there towards the end, right? So tell me a little bit about your business, right? What is your process? What are the kind of people that you help in your business? And if somebody was to come to you what would you help them with? Or, help them
Okay.
with? Yeah.
So I work with people who know what their zone of genius is.
All right.
So they've had this business idea in their head for years. They've been in the same career for 10, 20 years. They hit a place where almost like they're midlife type of, and they're like, oh my God, like, am I going to live an extra 20, 30, 40 years like that? Is that how I want to live my life? They suddenly have this sense of urgency because they have put everyone else first instead of putting their own needs and their own dreams first.
Yeah.
So these people, they are professionals, but they're also high achievers. They're not afraid to put on the work, and they are willing to do whatever it takes to get there. So these are the people, the personality of the people that I work with. So what I help them go through is what I call the dream method. And you said that earlier. So the dream method, like there's, for each letter, it means something. So I help people, those high achievers, monetize their knowledge, replace their income, fire their job, become their own boss, so they can live their purpose and finally change and impact other people's lives. So the dream method, the D stands for designing your dream offer. So I help my clients, packaging their knowledge the right way so it attracts the people that they truly want to work with. And, also packaging it in a way that it's high end. I don't believe into like coaches that charge like peanuts, I would say, for their services, because it's as if like you're undervaluing all your life experience, all the knowledge that you've gotten over the years, all the investments that you made into like getting to the person you are today, right? Yeah. So the R is for reinforcing your sales skills, because as you know, if you can't sell, then you don't have clients, and no clients, no business, it's a hobby, and it's very disappointing. Yeah. so the R is about like getting all those sales skills from when you meet the person into like how do you transform that person from a lead, a prospect, to becoming a client of yours. E is enhancing the know, like, and trust factor. So it has to do with, your relationship with the person. They have to know, like, and trust you in order to do business with you. And business have changed. I remember when I first got into business 12 years ago, people would really care about, credentials, years of experience, logo, perfect, and all that stuff, audio perfect, like everything had to be perfect. Now people realize that, they're dealing with people, and they want more authenticity. They want realness, and they want to make sure that you're the right person to help them go through from there to there, and they want to trust you. So that part is extremely important, and I help my clients with that. The A is to add many clients to your business with your personalized marketing strategy. And we spoke about that earlier in the interview. I say personalized because I hate it when marketers are like, do as I do and you'll get the same results. Yeah. I won't, because I'm not the same person as you are.
Totally.
Right? So everything that I teach, first of all, it has to do with, who am I dealing with? Who's that person, and what's that person's vision, and what are their strengths? So if I know you're strong on camera, well, of course, we'll push that in your marketing. But if I know that you prefer to write or anything like that, well, we'll shape your marketing depending on what your strengths are. And then finally, the M is to make your clients your forever fans. Like these marketers I was talking about earlier, the ones that say, do as I do and you'll get the results, or you can get to 6 figures within a week if you do this. Well, these people, they attract a lot of people, but their marketing expenses are very high because they always need to attract new people to their business. Yeah. So I'm teaching my clients to think ahead of the curve and really see how they can guide their clients through different steps of their journey. So it's not as if like, you have them for 3 months and then it's done. You can't support them anymore. How could you support them along the way? Because that's the easiest sale that you're making. Yeah. If you give your clients results, if they love working with you, they will definitely never want to leave you. They will always get your support whenever they need that support in that area of expertise. So I make them think about, how can they how can they support their clients along the way, so the lifetime value of their client is way more than, if it was just a one transaction and done. So that's the dream method that I teach to my clients.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the dream method. Fabienne, I really, really wish that we had more time because I want to talk to you about some few more things. You spoke about purpose. I mean, those are some, very, very key words that people need to understand. And, personally, I'm passionate by that. Purpose, dream, vision, goals, drive, hunger, all of that. That is my cup of tea. But before I let you go, though, I want to ask you, if
Yes.
there is a young girl somewhere right now on the other side of the world, in Africa, India, Canada, USA, listening or watching this and thinking, oh, dang, look, Fabienne made it and she's been at it hard for the past 12 years. I want to take that step, but I don't know how to go about it. I don't think that I can do that. I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't know this. I didn't have a partner that could support me. What will be your message to them so that they can fulfill their life calling?
Wow, that's a huge question. The first thing I would say is that your voice matters. That you're on this earth for a reason. So just that, I mean, it means that you deserve to be here. Okay. Second thing, I also feel that everyone has, their own zone of genius, their own expertise, their own way of influencing other people's lives.
Yeah.
And if you decide to keep that for yourself, first of all, it's very selfish. And second of all, it's preventing you to change all these other people's lives with your work, with who you are, with your personality, with your story and all that stuff. More and more, we see Black women, succeeding and being more and more powerful and taking a stand and realizing so many great things in this world. I remember that when I started my first Facebook ads, I couldn't put my face on the ads because they wouldn't convert as much as if my face wasn't there with the same message. That's how it was, really. And now, it's done a little progress, but as you know, there's a ton of more progress to be doing. So the more that people like us are going to share the stage with others, promote each other's businesses, show that we have the capacity to change the world with our work and who we are, then the more it will become normal. I don't understand why it's still not normal to see all of us succeeding and sharing our work with the world. So that's what I would say. I would say this thing is greater than yourself. This thing is greater than just thinking about yourself, being scared or being shy or whatever. It has a community and a worldwide mission type of thing. So just maybe thinking about that, it might make you see things differently and understand how important it is for you to step up and say what you think and share your voice and your story with the world.
Oh, yeah. I love it, Fabienne. I love it from here to the moon, back and back to the moon again. I love it. I love it. Look, I remember when we were speaking about, having an interview and we were like, hey, we're going to spit fire. And what you are doing today is going like, all fire everywhere. And I love it. I love it. Ladies, you've heard the madam right there. You've got to believe in yourself. You got to take the step. Let go of all those limiting beliefs because that's what they're going to do. They limit you from being anything that you are purposed to be. Discover what your purpose is. Find your voice and let it out. Purpose is the intent of creation of a thing. And I believe that when we are all created, we come here with a purpose, to fulfill a purpose. I am here to serve you. You might be there to lift me up in a different way. And that's what we do. That's why we are human beings and we co-live together. So we contribute in the betterment of each other. So what is your purpose? What is your calling? Find it, hold on to it, and unleash it to the world so that everybody can benefit, regardless of your race, color, or size. Hey, Fabienne, thank you so much for coming onto this show today. I have no doubt that this interview is going to crack the internet, okay? So thank you so much, Fabienne. That was Fabienne Raphaël, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Canada. She's a business coach that helps other coaches to fire their job and definitely sustain in their business and grow. But most importantly, find their purpose and fulfill it. Because that's what life is about. You don't want to live day by day, all right, make some money, buy a car, house, kids, all of that. No, you want to live it, all right? You want to find that thing, which is why you created, and live it to the fullest. Isn't so, Fabienne?
Yes.
Yeah.
Make a difference with who you are.
That's it. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was me, Stephen Dossou, hanging out with Fabienne Raphaël today. You know who I am, speaker, coach, co-founder of Leadership University, and founder of Salesforce Catalyst. Ignited Transformation TV is the show that brings you the very, very best of the very best and bestest guests from all around the world to give you what you've never had before. That little push to think out of the box, literally think out of the frame of the normal frame. Yeah, I said it. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you a great day, great night, wherever you are listening from. Remember, you can be great, and I'll see you at the top. Bye-bye.